Now I want to talk to the ones who feel invisible, to the mother up at 3 a.m. praying in whispers over her children's bedrooms, to the father who feels the pressure of being the spiritual gatekeeper for his family, but no one ever sees the weight he carries, to the teenager who quietly reads their Bible between classes, feeling outnumbered in a sea of compromise, to the widow still praising God in her loneliness, to the prison inmate who gave his life to Jesus behind bars. Let me say this to you: heaven sees you and hell fears you, because your voice might be quiet in the natural, but in the spiritual realm, it's thunder. The enemy hears your prayers, he sees your consistency, he watches your obedience and trembles. Let me tell you what happens when a remnant rises. History shifts. In the Old Testament, God didn't need armies, he needed obedience. He used Gideon with just 300 men to defeat thousands. He used a shepherd boy named David to bring down a giant. He used Esther to save an entire nation, simply because she had the courage to speak when it could have cost her life. You see, when we speak boldly in a world full of compromise, our words become weapons, not of destruction, but of deliverance. And I know what someone's thinking right now, but who am I? You're chosen, you're called, you're equipped, and you were born for this moment in time. Let me tell you something the enemy never wanted you to know. You are dangerous, not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. When you walk into a room filled with demonic influence, your presence shifts the atmosphere. When you pray in your car with tears falling down your face, heaven dispatches angels. When you share a verse online, someone halfway across the world gets the confirmation they were crying out for. Never underestimate the ripple effect of one voice fully yielded to God. Now let's talk about what it means to be loud in love. Being loud for Jesus isn't about screaming at people. It's about standing in truth and grace. It's loving your enemies with a spine of steel. It's praying for those who persecute you and still refusing to water down the gospel. It's saying no to sin without hating the sinner. Because love doesn't mean silence. Jesus loved with fierce boldness. He flipped tables when the temple was defiled. He called out hypocrisy. He rebuked demons. But he also bent down in the dirt for the woman caught in sin and said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." That's kingdom boldness, love with power. So where do we go from here? We go where Jesus sends us. We speak when he prompts us. We pray without ceasing. We stop waiting for permission to be who God already called us to be. This generation is craving truth wrapped in compassion. They're not looking for perfect Christians. They're looking for authentic, unashamed, spirit-filled believers who will speak when others stay silent. So let's stop worrying about numbers and start planting seeds. One word can shift a soul. One video can reach the unreachable. One prayer can break chains. Sugar Bytes News is proof of that. We're not just creating content. We are launching spiritual missiles into the enemy's camp. And guess what? We've only just begun. Let me talk directly to you now. The reason you felt pressure lately, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're finally doing something right. You're waking up spiritually. You're breaking generational cycles. You're shifting atmospheres. And you're making the devil nervous. That's why the attacks came. That's why the discouragement showed up. That's why you've been fighting battles no one else sees. But let me remind you, you are not alone. Every time you hit play on this video, you're joining thousands of warriors around the globe. We are linked in spirit. We are kingdom family. And we don't retreat. We advance. So here's your kingdom assignment. Speak the word over your home out loud. Call out confusion with clarity. Pray for your enemies with power. And encourage the discouraged everywhere you go. Post truth. Share truth. Live truth. Because when we do, revival breaks out, one voice at a time. So go ahead and comment below. I'm loud for Jesus. Let hell hear it. If you haven't subscribed to Sugar Bytes News, do it now. We're not just building a channel, we're building an army. And always remember, Team Jesus, let's ride. We've got nations to shake, souls to reach, and truth to proclaim, until every knee bows and every tongue confesses that Jesus Christ is Lord.